So, okay. Okay. I think I made, yeah, just tell me if I'm looking, because just this is, I'm, no, nothing, it's not important. Okay. So, okay, we'll start. Yes, I will explain you a little bit about this, tell you a little bit about this meeting in Montchardon. But first, do you hear me clearly or, yeah? Okay, perfect, because I'm using the earphone anyway. So first we start with the refuge prayer, and after, so I explain you and we continue in the text, okay? O sangye je dang zoge jo nam la chen ju pa tu cha so da ge jin so ge pe zhen nam ge da la ben je sangye sangye je dang zoge jo nam la chen ju pa tu da ne jan si da ge jin so ge pe zhen nam ge Tola Pinche Sangye Sangye Chetanam Sangye Chanala Chanchu Pradu Dane Chansinje Dage Dinsu Chanchu Tola Pinche Sangye Yes, and Chentam Jadavadam Tunga Dum Dunga Keju Dunga Tunga Mebe Devadim Badum Yerin Jadam Dam Pravadam Padan Savelamar Dage Jamadam Kaden Jambhavane Jasun Kotum Tunga Hello, welcome to LA. I don't know if we pronounce LA, but welcome. Okay.
Elena.
So Elena, yeah, Elena is far more better than LA. Yeah, sure. So just few words on these meetings in Montchardon in order to understand a little bit better. And also, that's why, first I had two weeks of translation and teaching in Montchardon. So it wasn't possible for me to be present. After these events in Montchardon with Gandurintjan. So in fact, at the start, it was very simple. Gandurintjan once tells us he wants to pay homage to Lama Tenzin, to come to Montchardon and pay homage, and in order also to receive his blessing. And so he really insisted that it's not that we are practicing for Lama Tenzin, for his long life and so on. Even if we can have this wish, this is normal, absolutely normal. But in fact, we are here to receive his blessing, to receive, I don't know, the living example of his practice. And we are here for that. We are here to receive, mainly to give, yes, with our presence, but it's more, it's more like receiving his blessing. So this was the main aim. And at the beginning, he thought that only a small group of people will come. But in fact, finally, we were 250, and much more on the web. And in fact, all the sanghas of maybe not all, but a lot of member of the sangha of Darpo Kindreling. So it means the nuns and the monks, and also the sangha of Darpo Kajuling, Dordogne. So they came, and also Marfont, and also Murat in Germany, and also in Greece. So it was like a gathering of the sangha. But a gathering with this sangha and the sangha of Montchardon, and centers related to Montchardon, like Serrance, Geneva, the other small centers. And the aim, beside the 3 days of practice together for the blessing and for really starting to do and to think together. So the meeting, the 4th days, so the meeting was just to meet each other, to know better each other. And it was really moving and touching, because almost everyone, say a few words, and it was the occasion of knowing the names of others, what they are doing in the center, how they live the Dharma together, and it was really something extraordinary. We can even say historical, because the contact between Lama Tenzin and Genjo Nichiren was very deep and clear, and it was very good. And from that, I think, and this is really clear in the mind of Genjo Nichiren, it's really to think about the future of the Dharma in Europe, the future of the lineage also. And this is a really important topic, as you know, because all those great masters like Genjo Rinpoche in the past, Lama Tenzin, all these old masters, we can say even Ole, they will all pass away, and so we will stay here, and we'll have to continue in a way. But how we'll continue, and what are the challenges that we have to face, and it was all about that. And I think we'll record all the day of the meeting, and we'll make a statement. And mainly the discourse of Genjo Rinchen was really inspiring and important, I think, because he really has the authority not to take over, and you know the centers. It's not that point, and he was very clear on that, saying that when we say Darpo Kagyu Mandala or whatever the name, it's not an organization. It is the Karmapath activity, and so this is the main point. We are, because and for me personally, it was very very clear and quite strong to understand that yes, we are developing the Karmapath activity. It's not that we are making our center. For instance, now we are together in order to learn the Dharma. And it's not that I'm giving you a teaching, absolutely not. It's not only that you are receiving a teaching, absolutely not. It's more than practicing or developing the Karmapa activity in that way. And so I think, yeah, this was quite an understanding. And for me, it was very important because from that, so it's more easy to be together, you know. For instance, in France, Dakpo and Kamame Dueling, Mochardon, and even, you know, for Mera in Germany and everywhere, if we are part of this Kamapa activity, so we can build things together, we can support each other, we can help each other, we can learn from each other. So it's a total other perspective. Otherwise, you just, yeah. And I think this is the genius of Gandurenchen, to break the walls and to make us understand that, again, we are part of the Karmapa's activity. And so this is very good. It's really excellent. Because for the future, it's not, for instance, in Moshano, as you know, Lama Tonzang, he's very old. So I don't know, he will go to Dewachen, he will pass away, maybe very soon, maybe not, in few months, in maybe 1 year, 2 years, who knows, you know, it's impossible. But for sure, it is, he's at the end of his life. This is absolutely clear. So, if we understand that we are part of Karmapa's activity, so it's more light, because Lama Tonzang himself, he's part of this activity, but all of us were part of this activity. And sure, we cannot reproduce exactly what the master done, because sometimes it's, you know, we're too ordinary in order to develop such an activity. For instance, like Lama Tonzang, how I can compare myself with Lama Tonzang. So this is impossible. And if I try to compare myself, so I lose from the start. You know, I will never win. So it's definitely clear and sure. And yeah, there is nothing to say. But if I think that I'm a part, as he is a part of this Karmapa activity, so it changed everything, because it means that, okay, I can play my role, I can be useful in my level, you know, and everyone can. And Karmapa's activity is, it's not, as Karmapa is saying, it's not, we're not working for an organization, you know, the Kamakagyu brand. It's not that. Karmapa's activity is the Buddha's activity. You know, there is no difference, you know, and and I think all of this is very important to understand. And yeah, and for me, again, it was beneficial to be yeah, to be in that, to be part of this, in these discussions. And I have to say that it was just the first one of many, and everyone will be included in this. But you know, it was like not exactly spontaneous, because we decided, but we never decide that there will be such a all these peoples, and it was not very planned, even, you know, from till the morning, you know, I didn't know that I will, for instance, present the day. It was, I never thought that. And I didn't know that we'll speak about this, you know, it was absolutely not planned. So we just start with the practice of generosity till the mantra. Then after we open the discussions all the day, and in the night, so around 10:30. So we maybe a little bit later than this. So we finish the day with the rest of the Chenrezig puja, you know, practice, and that's all. And during the day, so we just share and exchange. But we didn't think, okay, we invite those especially, and those one No, will not invite them. It's absolutely no. It's not like this. It's more, yeah. And in the future, I don't know how we will organize this and where. I don't know, but again, I think the main point will be, I can say, it will concern naturally all those they feel to be part of Karmapa's activity. Anyway, from wherever they come. And for instance, together we are here with Zoom, learning and reflecting on the Dharma together, and we are part of that. It's not, we don't think, okay, I'm from Vienna or from. Yeah, I know. I don't even know from where you are. I know that Regina and Pavel, you are in Vienna, but Nikki, I don't know. Sevana, I know almost. And Elena, I don't know. And it's not important, we are together with that activity. And so this was very, very touching. Everyone were moved by this, I think. Yeah, it was inspiring. Yeah, okay. So this is what I can say with that. Do you have any comments?
Yeah, I have for example, Gendo Rinpoche, which function is which function he will have in the future? How is his preparation for the future? Because I mean, Trinidad Rinpoche, what he was doing in the past for training himself with Tibetan and everything, and also what Karmapa, 16 Karmapa said, like the new reincarnation of Gendo Rinpoche will be like Milarepa. He said that 16 Karmapa, and my question is, how is going this process for him, and what is expected?
I know only a few things. I know that Shama Rinpoche, before he passed away, he really settled down all his life, saying that at a very young age you have to do this and that, and till 21, I think. He said, so now you can start. You can start your own activity, and now slowly, he's taking care of everything in a very, very incredible way, in a way, because he's totally quiet. Yeah, very delicate and not struggling to do something special, but he has a natural authority. And so I think that, for instance, when you see what he's doing in Dakpo, in Le Bost, in Mura, so it's very clear that so the master came back, and there is no question. In fact, it's very, very clear. And but in the future, what will be his training concerning the event? Probably the retreats he will do or not. I don't know. I never spoke with him about this subject. I don't know. No, I don't know. But he will be a key person in the development of the lineage in Europe. This, I'm not omniscient. I cannot be totally sure, but my feeling is, I feel that because, when I think that, he has only 23 years old. When I speak with him, it's never that I have a young adult with me. Absolutely not. And the way, for instance, he perceives who is Lama Tenzang and the activity of all masters, it's really incredible. Yeah, no, there is no question. It's he really managed very well. But you know, it will be not very easy because, for instance, in Moshalon we have also Tibetan Lama, you know, and they are participate during the meeting, and it was very good because they also speak. Mainly Lama Tsangpo spoke during the meeting, and it was important. But it's not easy, you know, when you are a Westerner, a young Westerner, and you don't speak Tibetan, and you want to have link and to have an authority, you know, in the lineage. It's not that easy. So we'll see how he will manage. You know, well, I don't know for that, but I think that anywhere our future will be with him in a way or another. I don't know yet the form, but for instance, us in Geneva, you know, I never thought that he will be present here for the second time in our home, and just 7 hours she was there 2 days ago, and we just had an informal meeting, you know, in our home, and then he was seated on the sofa and making interviews for all the night till 2 o'clock in the morning. And we were eating, chatting. It was, in a way, a very social event, normal one, but very nice one, and also a very spiritual one. You know, he came into our home with, you know, with beautiful tankas, you know, and our home was redesigned in few minutes, you know, taking something, I don't know, some furniture from here to there, and it's just an example of his way of doing, you know. And you are, I really had the feeling to be like a river, you know. It's really like a flow of activity, and wow, you are taken by this, and and it's very interesting for that. So it means that also the way we'll practice the Dharma, and yeah, maybe, but you know, he I never heard from him something like you don't have to do this, and now we'll change the form. It's absolutely not that. He is totally he's just in the bodhicitta in a way, you know, and in the intention. And mainly it's that, you know. And when he speak to me to give me some advices, it's always challenging because mainly, you know, he said one day, he's in last summer, we spoke together, and he said to me one very important thing. He said, people, they don't have to come to you to take your hand, but you have to make possible that all the people, they take the hand of the Buddha. Yeah, and so, you know, for me it was really touching, you know, because there is always a trap when you teach the Dharma, because you think that you are a master, or that yeah, that you are someone important, and whatever, you know, and you can be totally wrong. And I think it was a really wise advice. It's just not just an advice like this, it's an advice for all of us, you know. And so for this is really interesting, you know. He goes deeply in the intention, and so this is what we need, because the Dharma, we already received the Dharma. You know, many teachings, many initiations, many you know, if we want to count, it's just amazing. But what we do with that, you know, for what purpose? And so this is your concern, this is my concern, this is everyone's concern, this is the concern also for the center. And they can be small, they can be big, you know, we can call them Diamond Way or Dakpo or Moshalo, it's the same, you know, what we do with the Dharma. And so for that, he's the one, because he's really just putting light on that point. And so this is really, really important. not the form of the practice. You know, we were in Montchardon, so we done the puja as usual, you know, reciting in Tibetan. And maybe one day we'll do in another way. Yeah, but you know, if it happens, so it happened, you know. But this is not the point. So now we're using Zoom and it's fine. Maybe to be together in a place will be a little bit, yeah, maybe better. But okay, it's like this now, you know. So we do with what we have. But the intention. So this is the key. And you know what we're studying together, the four dharmas of Gampopa. It's mainly of that, the way we perceive, and I think, yeah, this is the main point. Otherwise we get lost. And for me, it was really touching, you know, when I received this advice, because I thought, okay, so he's saying that to me in order to be very clear, because he said, if you say you speak in the name of the lineage, it's really strong, and it will give you a lot of strength. But if you are not using in a proper way, so it will not go right. It can go wrong. And you know, for me it was, you know, something, because you know, yeah, it's a sort of responsibility. But I think we all have this responsibility. Also in our practice, you know, why are we meditate? Why are we practicing the Dharma? It's always the same thing, you know, in fact. But this is just to share with you something very personal, but and also important, you know, because it concerns what we are doing together right now also, you know. And okay, yeah. And if you have, if anyone want to share something about that, you can, sure, no problem. We're together to discuss also. Otherwise, we can go back to the four dharmas of Gampopa also, as you want.
Yes, can I have a comment? Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your answer, and I'm very happy to have this fresh air from this meeting you had in Montchardon, because I think this is I felt always is the right direction to see our work together, and also I think also that in our last years also we saw the both sides of this direction and other direction, when one is more focused on the organization. And we can say, I mean, I just talk for myself, I can say this is a really liberating feeling, and we can share this joy, but also, I mean, we try our best, but it's so important as what you say. Thank you. And I wish this goes really in this direction, because I saw the mistakes and the problems the other way is producing, and really is a nonsense, really.
Yeah, really. No, you're right. You're right. And I think this will be one of the greatest challenge. And Gender Rinchen developed 5 points about the challenges. And I don't remember exactly his words. We'll make a statement, and we'll try to really even write down his exact words about that. But it's exactly about that, you know. So the problem is how we escape from the trap of the organization, and how we use whatever the organization it is in order to develop a genuine Dharma, real Dharma. I mean, in the motivation also, and mainly in the motivation. Otherwise, no, it will be not good. Absolutely not. Because in fact, when we saw together a film of with Lama Tenzin speaking about his life and what is the aim of a Buddhist center, and we decided to share this movie to put it on the website of Moshadon, like so everyone can see it, and so I think it will be important to see that. And when you hear Lama Tenzin, it's absolutely clear from the beginning that he never lose this motivation. It was not to say that he want to develop more shadow, like if it was something really concrete, a building or an organization, and saying, okay, now we have our Moshadon, and he said the most important is that we develop the practice every morning, every evening without interruption since all these years, and this is the accomplishment. It's not the building we build. Absolutely, yeah, and yeah, and it's good to remind, to remember that, and yeah, and for him it was absolutely, yeah. He came in France for at the demand of Karmapa and Kalu Rinpoche, and the purpose was to teach the Dharma, as he's always saying, Semchen Sangye Gitempa and Semchen Gituntu. So it means Sangye Gitempa means for the sake of the Buddha's doctrine, Sangye Gitempa and Semchen Gituntu, and for the welfare of all sentient beings. For him, this is the only purpose, essential purpose of a center, of a Buddhist center, or even we can say of a Dharma activity. So Sangye Gitempa and Semchen Gituntu. So it means, are we supporting the Buddha's teaching? Are we developing an attitude for others that can be beneficial or not? So this is the only part. But otherwise, if we just want to have more members, to be more rich or more powerful, so we were trapped by the worldly dharmas, And when maybe you remember when we saw in the four dharmas of Gampapa, at the beginning, I think again this morning, I saw that, and I thought, I read the first sentences, and I thought, but it's incredible, I have to read them again. It's like, okay, it can be, yeah, it's never finished, to be clear on that. Because, when you have, I have this passage, the first sentence in the commentary of the fourth Shaman Rinpoche said, the precious Guru says, no matter what positive Dharma activity you engage in by hearing, reflecting, listening, expounding, preserving, restraining, accumulating, purifying, meditating, accomplishing, and so on, in order that Dharma practice does not become stained with karma, one needs a Dharma practice that turns toward the genuine Dharma. One may then ask, what is karma? And there is this citation of Nagarjuna, I think. There are the three: desire, aversion, and stupidity or ignorance. This is karma. So I think, these words are crystal clear. So we can be an individual. So this is the first step, but we cannot say, okay, it's done. So this is incredible, because we really, I don't know for you, but personally, when I read that, it's like if I think, okay, I have to start again. I have to start again to check that, to be sure of that. And I cannot be enough confident to think, okay, I don't have to reflect on that again, because it's done. It's never done, because you can always, when you do something, you can always be trapped by desire, aversion, and ignorance. Always, even if you are engaging in hearing, reflecting, listening, expounding, preserving, so these are, expounding, preserving, restraining, accumulating, purifying. So it's even in these words, some we can say are more personal, and so some are more general. Preserving. We don't think we are preserving the Dharma, but an organization has to preserve the Dharma. We can think that, and yes, but we are also preserving the Dharma by our practice. On how are we preserving the Dharma? And one need a Dharma practice that turns toward the genuine Dharma. And maybe it's like to say that if we have to think about one thing, it's that, So does the Dharma goes to the Dharma? If we can answer yes, so it's okay. But we have to check every day. And in an organization, yeah, it's sure. And if you lose that, thinking, no, but there is also a very important matter. And after we go back to the Dharma, we never go back. No. Oh, I think it's very difficult. It's like if we say, in a republic, for instance, French Republic, freedom, equality, I don't know what is that in brotherhood. We say this. It's like the main value of the republic. But if one day we say, no, this one has less right than myself, or than the other one, so we lose the mind. We lose the value. So we in any case we cannot lose the value. Otherwise, we are not a republic. If we say, okay, I can get the power for myself, so it's impossible. You cannot say equality. You cannot say human right. It's even in these political matter, it's the same thing. So if you adapt this to the Dharma, so what is the value of the Dharma? So this is the question. So the value of the Dharma, it's to turn to the Dharma, and not become stained with karma. So this is the first value. And we cannot say, yeah, we are enemies, but because it's necessary. I think at one, yeah, okay, sometimes we have to maybe defend or be clear, but we have to be very careful in this case, because we never know. We can also be trapped by anger, by attachment. It's very quick. We say, okay, no, these people, we have to be, we really have to be careful, because they are very dangerous. Maybe they will do some bad things to us. Yeah, but we can also lose the Dharma in that process. Yeah, so this is just to make a link between what we've done in Moshano with Genjun Rinchen and what we're doing here with the Four Dharma of Gampopa. So I think there is not a big difference. It's something, like similar. Yeah. Do you want? if you want, we can continue with the fourth Dharma, fourth one or third one. The path that dispels delusion. I think we saw that.
Yes, we covered that.
Yeah, we covered that. So we arrived at the fourth, the more difficult one. I don't know if I'm prepared to engage the fourth one. Delusions that appear as wisdom. Wow. Delusions that appear as wisdom. We can start slowly seeing what we can understand from that with the help of the commentary, sure. And if needed, I will dig more deeply in all those commentary in order to find some more explanation on that. There is a beautiful commentary and with the Jigten Sumgun, a very great master of the Jigung tradition, and so I was really inspired when I read it. But it is only in Tibetan, so that's why I'm not also using this. And but why not to look at this, because it's also very interesting. After I thought also for the four dharmas of Kampupa, we can continue with other commentaries, in order to see what the other masters said, on these different subjects, and it can be very interesting. Do we have to wait for Nikki, or you think, or not? Because I'm not seeing. Okay, Nikki, she's back. I just thought, do we have to wait for you or not? Okay, perfect, you are here. So yes, so the fourth Dharma. You okay? We start with this, with the fourth one? Okay, you tell me, huh? So first in Tibetan, just like, so we hear the words of the fourth Shamapa. Tulpa yeshe su charwala ni senyi paro tu chimpe lugutang sanga druje tekpe lugso. So he said that delusions that appear as wisdom is twofold. The tradition of the Lakshana or Paramita and the secret mantra or Vajrayana. So Prajna Paramita, so let's say Sutra, but Sutra of the Mahayana and Vajrayana. So first, delusion that appear as wisdom according to the Prajna Paramita or the Paramitas, only the Paramitas. So he said, so first in Tibetan, so Paralu Chimpe Lugi Tulpa Yeshe Charmani Tulpa Selking Sheba Te Kuntup Jumam Lambda Tulki Sungdintam Che Teman Tam Te Ching Nisune Parang Shin Movo Nambratapa Mino Noam Sungdin Yevara Shivan Tuve Tatan Tuva Tokutana Tuba Yeshe Charma Yino. Okay, so delusions that appear as wisdom according to the Paramita Yana, we can say, the vehicle of the Paramita. So it is. So the consciousness of a dispeller of delusion belong to apparent reality and resemble dream illusion. I will first read the passage, and after we go in more detail. If one has realized in such a way that all grasped and grasping are primordially, how we pronounce that, it's difficult, and not different and non-dual, have a nature that is inherently utterly pure, are free from appearing and non-appearing, are thoroughly pacified from grasp and grasping and are free from the extreme of elaboration, then it is the delusion that appear as wisdom. So, wow, there is a program here. So, delusions that appear as wisdom, according to the Paramutayana, the consciousness of a dispeller of delusion. So here, tulpa selkengi shepa. Tulpa selkengi shepa. So it means that a dispeller of delusion. If we see in Tibetan, tulpa selkengi shepa. Shepa means the consciousness. So the consciousness of, for instance, the wish to dispel. So because when we say selken means in Tibetan means the one who purify. So the one who purify can be us, you know, I am purifying something that needs to be purified. So this is the dispeller, you know. So you think that something exists as someone who dispels something. So this is the play the game we always play between the doer and doing, you know, and the thing we do with the action and so on. So, so the dispeller of dispeller of delusions belong to apparent reality and resemble dream illusions. So again, it means that we have to go back to that. We saw that already in the third one. I just have to find the, turning toward the actual, no, it was for the second Dharma of Gampopa, turning toward the actual path. So the second one, you know, on the apparent level, one recollects that phenomena resemble dream illusions. So it means that at the first, not exactly the first, because first is Chö Sudrowa, and after Chö Lam Tudrowa. So it means that if we really want to Chö Lam Tudrowa, that the Dharma that turns toward the path, so it means that we have to recollect that phenomena resemble dream illusions. And so, sure, during the fourth Dharma of Gampopa, so it means that, again, the dispeller of delusion appear resemble dream illusion. But what is the difference? The difference is that I think, I'm not totally sure, but I think that during the second Dharma of Gampopa, we try to learn and to understand that when I perceive phenomena, I'm a perceiver at that moment, and I'm okay with that. You know, I'm a perceiver, and there is something to perceive, and okay. But for the first Dharma of Gampopa, I continue to perceive, but even the perceiver itself is also dream illusion. This is a difference, because when we train yourself to perceive phenomena as dream illusion, you do it from yourself. You do it from your own understanding. So it means that, me, myself, I perceive things like a dream illusion. But I have no doubt about the identity of the perceiver. And this is my experience, you know, and it's maybe the experience we all have. We think about emptiness, we perceive things as dream illusion, and again, perceiving as dream illusion, it's not only to understand that the dream itself is an illusion. The dreamer also, it's an illusion. So you know, you have a tiger in your dream. I think we saw that together. We have this tiger, we can be eaten by this tiger. So we are full of fear. And so we wake up, and hopefully it was only a dream. Wow, we escape. And, but we really experiment fear. It's the same thing with desire. If we make an erotic dream, it's beautiful. You make love all the night, and it's absolutely wonderful. And when you wake up, everything disappeared. So you can experiment attachment, desire, fear, everything as if it's totally real, But the dreamer, we never think about the dreamer. We wake up and we think, yes, it was an illusion. Yeah. But the illusion of who, who is the illusion maker? And so it's very interesting because on the fourth, when we arrive to the fourth Dharma of Gampopa, he said that the dispeller of illusion belongs to apparent reality and resembles dream illusion. So the dispeller, so it means the one who want to practice the Dharma, the one who engage into the Dharma. So yourself and myself, so we are a dream illusion. So we can maybe we can understand intellectually to understand really it's quite, it's a challenge, not easy, but the dream helps us to understand, because we can yes, we can understand that the dreamer himself, the dreamer he has the dream of the tiger because the illusion he produced are the same nature of himself. He cannot produce something out of himself, So it means that the consciousness itself produce what she knows to produce. So she naturally produced that. So, it's not that she has to think, I will produce a dream. It's her game. It's her skill. It's her play. So it's her expression. So the conscious expressed themselves in an illusion way. So the same thing is right for the I, or for the one who produced, because we feel these things outside are real, but in the same way we think I'm real because we have the same reality. It's not that our way of perceiving our own reality, it's far more different than the way we perceive the reality of other. For instance, when I perceive you as real, so I have no doubt that you exist. So it means that I have no doubt that I'm existing. But normally, if I really start to have doubt about the true nature of phenomena, true nature of yourself, I can start to have a reflection on my true nature. Otherwise, I cannot. Because it means that as far as I consider phenomena as real, so I will continue to perceive myself as real. So that's why we start first with the phenomena. Because if I understand that, if I understand the process of identification, so I can understand the process of identification for myself too. So that's why, for instance, when we go back to Shantideva on that point, it's very important. Because when he say equality with others, so it means that in the same, if I understand how I construct my identity, and if I understand that the main support for my identity, it's the identification. So for instance, to say my hand, So when he take the example of the different part of the body, saying that, okay, you have one hand, you have another one, you have foot, and if you have your feet is hurting, so you will help your feet with your hand. You will not think my hand has nothing to do with my feet. No, you just do it. So you have a sense of how we say, yeah, a sense of the same identity. You belong to one person. You don't think you don't have to take care, because you take care. You take care naturally. So from that, he used that example to say, yes, but if you really reflect, could you say that your hand is definitely what you are? What you are? Is it your eye? No. Your hand, it's not more the eye than your feet, and than your head, than every part of yourself. So he used that example to make us understand that we are just a collection of different parts, and from that we develop an identification. So in the process of understanding given by Shantideva, so we start from there in order to understand that we are just illusion. It doesn't mean that we don't exist. Huh? We exist, but we exist as a representation. We exist as a false identity. It's not exactly our identity, but we exist. The point is not to say, I'm not thinking, I'm not speaking, and no. But who is speaking? So it's more subtle. But when I go through that process, so I can also understand, and so this is the point for the equality with the other. He said that, but if your identification for yourself is like this, could you really say that others are not also functioning in that way? Yes, they are functioning in that way. So there is nothing particular in themselves to think that their I is more real than your I, and your I is not, your ego is not more real than theirs. So there is an equality in the sense of the same illusion. So we share the same illusion. We are made by the same illusion. So this is a very good way to understand the fact that, okay, phenomena are, first, there are representation. To understand them as total emptiness, it's difficult because we are ordinary beings, I think. For myself, it's clear. And so if I can understand that there are a representation, and this is very good, it helps me a lot. It helps me to understand phenomena as dream illusion, because a dream is a projection. So it means I can make exist something that doesn't exist. And so this is an incredible power, and I can do more than that. I can perceive emotion. I can have emotion. I can experiment feelings with that fantasy, with that pure illusion, with that pure creation of mind. So if I remember that, it's very interesting, because it means that every single perception, feeling, emotion that I have, in fact, it's the sign of the illusion, So it means it's like in the dream. So I perceive things like in the dream. So it means that I have fear, and so on. All these emotion I have, every single one is the sign that there is a creation, that there is an illusion. Otherwise, I cannot perceive emotions, because my consciousness functions like this, not only in the dream, but everywhere. anywhere, anytime. So my emotion, it's the sign of the illusion. And so this is really interesting. So it means that from there, I can also understand that the consciousness produce something, but the consciousness itself produce the identification of itself. So that's why we say Datu Zin. So Datu Zin in Tibetan means to grasp to an ego. You know, so that's why we in this text, and we'll go further on a very important word. We say Sung Zin. Sung Zin, you know, it's after he said that if one has realized in such a way that all grasped and grasping are primordially not different and non-dual, all grasped and grasping. Grasped and grasping. In Tibetan is Sungzin. Sungzin means the one who grasps and the one who is grasped. Sungwa means the one who grasps. Zin means the fact to grasp. So there is a grasper and a grasped. So the grasper is the I, and the grasped are the projection of the grasper. So it means that the conscious itself, so the both of them, grasped and grasping, are primordially not different and non-dual. So this is incredible. It means that the dream, so the tiger, it's not different than the consciousness. In fact, it's the consciousness. So it means that there is no other consciousness outside of the tiger. And so for that, we have just to think about. Non-dual means there is no grasper outside of the grasp. No tiger outside of the one who imagined the tiger, but no one who imagined a tiger outside of the tiger. There is no consciousness outside of the dream. The dream is the consciousness, and the consciousness is the dream. And really, it's there is a word in English, breathtaking, something, you know, Savannah, how it is?
It's breathtaking.
Breathtaking, yeah. Thank you for your confirmation. You can help me when you see I'm struggling and no problem. But maybe you like to see me struggling with the word. no, just joking. No problem. No problem. No problem. You know me. I like to joke a little bit. No. It's really breathtaking, because it means that we have to stop. So it means that when I dream, it's my consciousness. This is the consciousness. There is not a dreamer outside of the dream. But this is absolutely, I cannot figure out, like this, if I don't think about it. It's just totally amazing, but it's really helpful. So it means that also through any illusion, because, we have just to fourth Dharma, delusions that appear as wisdom. So it means, so it's really interesting. So it means that the tiger, so the illusion, appear as wisdom. So it means that it appear as the wisdom that knows that this is the consciousness. So it means that, and this is extraordinary, it means that all illusion we have are helpful. And it's not something not important. It's really important, because it means, imagine you live, I live, for instance, today. Today, we can decide this for today. From now on till evening, till this evening, you know, we'll go to sleep, we'll go to bed, and we'll dream again. Okay, but anyway, we during this daytime experience, we can know that whatever we perceive, you know, with the 5 consciousness, sense consciousness, with the mental consciousness, with the 6, whatever we perceive is the consciousness. So I hear a sound, it's the consciousness. I have a feeling with my hand on my pant, this is consciousness. I smell, you know, I have I perceive a smell, a nice smell or bad smell, this is consciousness. I have a taste in my mouth, like drinking the tea, this is consciousness. Everything, I have a thought, this is consciousness. So it's never separate. So it means that if let's imagine that I'm totally in the experience of the nature of that. Not only, you know, for instance, again, we can take the example of the dream. We are in the dream, we have this tiger, and if by chance we can experiment the nature of this tiger, so we'll experiment the nature. We will be able to experiment the nature of the consciousness at the same time. So it means, but we don't know what is the experience of the consciousness. What we know, it's the fear of the tiger. This we know. We experiment that, but we don't experiment the nature of this. It's like to see a nice fruit. We perceive the fruit, but we don't know the fruit. But with the fruit, it's difficult to take it at an example, because after we eat the fruit, again, it's an example, because when we eat the fruit, we'll have an experiment, sure, of the fruit, but from the senses, it's again another consciousness. It's not the real consciousness, beside the seeing consciousness. But anyway, it's an example to see that we perceive the dream, but so perceiving the dream means we have an emotion, a fear or a desire or whatever, but we don't know what is the nature of that dream. So what is the nature of that illusion? So what is the nature of that consciousness? So it means that the illusion is consciousness. There is no consciousness outside of illusion. And so this is, yeah, breathtaking, because we always think that there is the nature of the consciousness is outside, when the illusion will stop. And so we're waiting. So we're practicing the Dharma, thinking that, yeah, one day we'll have no more illusion. But it's not that. The point is not that. That's why, Gompa said to the great meditator, there is a famous passage, quotation in the Ocean of Certainty. He said to great meditator, don't perceive your thoughts as your enemy. Because, we recite every day, or almost every day, we recite, may I perceive the Dharmakaya through all the thoughts, through all the manifestation. But we say that, but after we totally forget that all our illusion experimentation that we do every day is the consciousness, and it's totally different when, for instance, if I perceive desire, and if I remember that this is my consciousness, it's different than thinking that there is a real object to whom I have desire or anger or whatever, yeah, because it's the same, finally. It's always myself, in a way. I can say, even if there is no myself, but it's myself. And after, if I understand that the illusion is the same nature of myself, so both of them are illusion, the same way. So, you know, myself, it's also the consciousness. Or the illusion of myself is also the consciousness. It's not to say that myself is the consciousness. No, no. So the illusion of thinking that I exist, so this, it's also the player of my consciousness. So the point, it's just to it's yeah, a big program, but he say, if you know, if you, myself, if one has realized in such a way that all grasped and grasping are primordially not different and non-dual, have a nature that is inherently, utterly pure. And so this is also very, very important, because, you know, Jungle Control explained this in the Quai Donné du, for instance. He said that at the first moment when the object meet the consciousness, the faculty, so these two, we call it in Sanskrit sparsha. Sparsha means contact. When there is contact, whop, there is consciousness. So for us, we have to remember that, because it means that there is not a perceiver, so someone who will see something, who will hear something. But this is, again, breathtaking. So it means that, for instance, I always think that I'm seeing things. I never remember, or I have to be really focused and really totally aware. And sometimes, yes, but not every moment. Otherwise, you know, in, let's say, ordinary moment, I just think that I'm seeing. But it's not that. According to the Abhidharma, the experience of seeing, it's only possible when your faculty of seeing and the object, these two meet together. And at that moment, poof, there is the consciousness of seeing. So it means that at any instant, it's change, and any instant, it's the expression of the consciousness. So this is really important, because when he say here, this is utterly pure, so Jungle Control says that at that moment, the consciousness is totally pure, because you are not involved. When you perceive, just when you are just in that experiment, so you are not going further thinking that this is good, this is bad, I want, I don't want, and so on. So it means we cultivate, in order to be free also, it's good to cultivate the natural presence. Natural presence means I stay present. We can do that exercise. You just hear, just, yeah. It's not exactly meditating, but you are just present of whatever you experiment, just present, not thinking, just present. So to be just present, so it's very, very interesting, because present means at any instant it changes. You're just present now, but it's not that it's not that, how we say, it's difficult to express. It's not that you are present, you are not in a special state. So it means that your presence means just to be in touch with what appears at this really instant. So, but without going to that. So this is also that's why we meditate in that way. We meditate in that way, not just to calm the mind. No, we meditate in that way in order to develop wisdom, in order to, because Shine and Faktung it's wisdom. Shine, it's just the calm abiding in order to rest, even to rest sufficiently, to be steady in a way. So if I'm present, so we can say Shine. So I don't go somewhere. So I stay, but I stay present to whatever it appears. So this is Laktung. So Laktung means wisdom, because under wisdom, as it is explained. So wisdom comes from just the way I perceive illusion. Because if one has realized in such a way that all grasp and grasping are primarily not different and non-dual, have a nature that is inherently utterly pure, so are free from appearing and non-appearing, are thoroughly pacified from grasp and grasping, and are free from the extreme of elaboration, then it is the delusion that appear as wisdom. So at that moment, yes, at that moment, at that moment, so the illusion doesn't appear as the object of attachment and anger, for instance. So it's interesting because it means that the frontier, or the how we say, the crucial point is the illusion. So from the illusion you can develop wisdom, or from the illusion you can develop samsara. So this is really interesting, because it says that nirvana, it's not outside of delusion. It's really the crucial point when you go on this side or on this side is illusion. So it means illusion means my experience, the experience of the I and the I itself, the grasper and the grasped. So it's like to say, from that really experiment at this really instant, so there is this two way. They are always open. This is the illusion that appear as wisdom, according to the paramitas. We'll not go on the Vajrayana today because I think it's enough. And yeah. Yes, for me, maybe the main point is with the help of this commentary, I can just remember that I don't. It's not that I have to just to get rid of the illusion. It's really a way of perceiving, and perceiving as the consciousness, because there are not again, not different and non-dual. Non-dual is more powerful than not different, because non-dual means that there is no two. There is no I on one side, and the production of I on the other side. There is not a dreamer and a dream. No, non-dual. No. So I can remember during my daily life, for instance, that there is never someone outside who perceive what I am perceiving. I am, to put it in other words, I will say, I am what I'm perceiving. There is no ego, or there is no consciousness outside of that. And yeah, we can try with that. It's interesting. I just there is a message of Elena. I will try to see it. Yeah, Elena, all the best. Yeah, sure, but we all have to go. We'll go anyway. Thank you to be present, Elena. Okay, friends, we stop here. Maybe you know what we can do. We think about that. Yeah, but next Saturday, next Saturday I have. It will be the order. I will have to give a teaching also all the weekend. So how we can do? Anyway, we'll think about that. But just to say that we'll find a solution, or I don't know, otherwise. But you have also the commentary, so you can read again that part and think about that, trying to understand, and we can discuss on that point the next time. Otherwise, we go too quick, and after we'll jump on the Vajrayana, and we have something to think about from here. Okay, we do like that, and I have to think about it, yeah, because I forgot that next weekend, from Friday to Sunday evening, I have to give a teaching in other place and then Geneva. So, and one day we'll maybe have to find, I don't know, another system, because the weekend sometimes, I'm not free. But anyway, we'll see.
Yeah, I think we will figure out the way to do it, and we are flexible. And also, some friends, they contact me, like maybe they can't watch it on time, but they are happy to have the recordings in YouTube, and they go for the recordings, and some of the friends also are saying that they can't because they work or whatever, but they are watching them. That means we try to just to flow, and anyway, I mean, my experience like each of these meetings is just mind blowing, and then it's yes. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, we stop here with the dedication, and we'll try to use all these commentary and reflection as the best we can. So yeah, so I will just maybe conclude with one word. We can, as an exercise, we can, whenever we want to react to something, first, we'll react, because we don't have to transform ourselves artificially. So we don't have to play again, because we are ordinary, and it's okay. But we can just remember, before reacting, that this is an expression of our consciousness, and so it can be very interesting. Just that. Okay, friends, all the best. and have a very nice weekend. It's a pleasure to share the Dharma with you, really. Thank you.
Very much.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye, friends. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.